Well, here we are back trying to fill my temperature gauge with ether. As you can see, I've got a bucket full of ice, and what I'm trying to do, this is the head of it there, trying to keep that and make that as cold as I can. And then I have taken the tube here. This is what goes into your engine block, and this is the nut that threads on. But anyway, I drilled a hole into the end of it. I slid a rubber hose over the end of it and a funnel because I didn't have a syringe of any sort. But I drilled a hole in the end of that tube. And what I'm trying to do, and there was ether in it. There wasn't enough. That's why it wouldn't work. But what I'm attempting is to use this. This is a starting fluid, but you can see it's 80% ether, and it's one of the highest starting fluid ether content that you can find. So what I'm trying to do is slowly put that in there, and I just kind of drizzle this out a little bit at a time. Like I said, if I had a syringe, it would be better. But I just fill it. You see how that's dripping in there? And then it fills up. And the idea with the ice, from what I've read, is the cold will actually pull that ether down to the gauge. And so the process is I'm trying to fill this capillary tube up with ether and this tube, but you see it's kind of bubbling out just a bit, so it's kind of, I don't know if I'm getting enough in there or not. I'm taking this little hose off the end of a spray can there and just kind of trying to get it to burp. But slow process. And then I've got my soldering iron all fired up, and then as soon as I feel that is full, I will take that off and I will solder the hole shut. That's the plan. I mean, you can't use open flame on it. Don't ever try that because you'll get a nice explosion if you do. But I don't think that the heat is enough to do anything to it. At least I hope not. If not, you'll never see this video. So, but you can see there's still a little bit of ether in it. But yeah, that stuff's really cold. I mean, you feel it up here where it's oozing out, and it's like, man, that's cold. So I'm hoping that that will go down into that tube and fill it. I tried it once and it didn't work. So today I took my hole and drilled it back out again, and I actually used a bit of compressed air just to see if I could get the gauge to fluctuate, you know. And this is the other gauge. You know, if you remember my other video, I said I bought a combination fuel gauge and water temperature gauge, and this is the temp gauge that was with it, but it had no hose on the back. It just had a nipple, and the hose had been broken off. So I had bought some of this copper line, soldered it on there, and then what I did is on the other open end, I actually put a little bit of compressed air in there, and it actually takes your gauge and it pushes it back and forth. And then I stuck this down in water and put the compressed air to it to see if there was any leaks. I have no leaks there, no air leaks, so obviously it would be sealed. It's another option. This, I did the same thing today. After I drilled the hole, I put a little bit of air to it to see if I can make the gauge work. And I could get it to fluctuate. So, okay, fine. Now it's just a matter of being able to get the ether down in it, hopefully, and we can seal it. Then we'll test it. We're going to put it in some hot water and give her a shot. that's what's going on in the shop today.